Welcome to the Voice of Madison podcast. I'm your host, Jefferson Eleanor. We have a very special guest, and that is Sonny Conzo for episode 7. Thank you for being on the show. If you guys don't know, he's a heavyweight boxer. You came in doing boxing 2019 or is it 18?
Oh, so I started boxing when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so I turned professional back in, what was it, 2017, I believe?
Okay.
So, on 18, 19, 20. No, I'm sorry, 2018.
Okay.
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So I've been professional now for 5 years, I guess.
Yeah. What made you transfer, from just doing it as a kid into like, oh, I want to do this professionally?
Right. So essentially, I didn't love any sport like I loved boxing. I played baseball growing up most of my life. I was a standout baseball player, and in hopes to, play in the MLB one day, as every kid's dream, be a professional.
Yeah.
And I had some things happen, some things went on. So I actually got in a car accident, a pretty bad car accident where I actually had to get back surgery.
Wow.
And so fast forward, I actually didn't play sports in high school. I actually didn't get good enough grades in order to be eligible to play. I don't know if that's a thing with your guys' school.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing with us. You gotta have a certain GPA and all that.
Basically, I was too busy being a class clown and, didn't focus on my grades and what I had to handle. And I essentially missed out on, football, baseball. I did wrestle. I never wrestled in my life, and I just took up wrestling in high school.
Went into it.
Yeah, just winged it. Got some varsity time. That was pretty cool. So anyway, I always boxed since 10 years old. You know what I mean? I was in and out of the boxing gym. So like when it was baseball season, I wouldn't be in the boxing gym as much, but I would still, go to the boxing gym at least, twice, 3 times a week, I would say. Just, staying sharp, like I said, I never really loved anything because, boxing's an individual sport. It's not a team sport. Everything falls on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if, how sometimes these people have bad games and they're like, oh, we had a bad game. Like, no, like, I had a bad night. You know what I mean? So there's no one to, it just made me take more responsibility.
Yeah.
And I really liked that, and it all came down to me, all eyes on me, and so yeah, I'm jumping all over everywhere. Anyway, had dreams to play baseball, always boxed, playing baseball while growing up. Went to high school, so I was born and raised in South Philadelphia. I was supposed to actually go play baseball for a high school, Newman Goretti in Philadelphia, and some things happened with their head baseball coach, and just things went wrong. Long story short, I commuted every day to a school in South Jersey, which is about 15, 17 minutes, rough drive every day. It wasn't bad, to go to school there.
Oh.
Which is where my cousins attended school, and they had a residence in Jersey, and that's how I was able to go there. So anyway, the plan was to play baseball in Jersey. And like I said, my grades, didn't allow me to do so. So, I just wrestled and played travel baseball, but not in high school. Still played baseball, but just not in high school.
Yeah.
So I didn't get them looks that I thought I should have got, or maybe the scholarship I thought I could have landed in high school, because I didn't give myself the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And then I went on and I went to a junior college, and that's where I actually walked on to the baseball team. I didn't get recruited to play there or anything. I just walked on. I was playing baseball over there. We actually went to the Junior College World Series, and we finished third in the nation. So that was like, an accomplishment. And then after that year, so junior college, right, you only get 2 years. if you know how that works, junior college, you only get to go to school or play a sport, I guess, for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know
it's
that.
not 4 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically, you do the 2 years at the junior college, and then essentially transfer out to a D1 school or
Oh.
hopefully a professional team or
Oh, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
your case may be. You know what I mean?
I know
So basically, after we finished the first year of the college baseball season,
Mhm.
came back the following year, which would be my last year, right? Because we're at a junior college, and that summer is when I got in my car accident.
Oh, wow.
So I went to open tryouts and stuff like that for second year, and I was on the pitcher's mound. I was pitching, and I just noticed that I couldn't play my position like I wanted to play it. Just my back wasn't allowing me to. I couldn't bend down far enough, fast enough. Couldn't just
Wow.
get up, throw the ball. You know what I mean? So I just I went to the coach and I was like, Coach, listen, there's nothing I could do here. My back's messed up. I think that I'm gonna get this back surgery and hopefully things will get better. So he's like, listen, any whatever decision you choose, I support fully. And so that's what I did. I went. I basically hung up the baseball glove, and got back surgery. Did a recovery. Went out to and I had to prove myself all over again after my back surgery. You know what I mean? So then I after the back surgery, I total focus, tunnel vision with boxing, on boxing, chasing that the boxing dream, and did the Golden Gloves. Won Golden Gloves state champ back to back, 2 different weight classes,
Ooh, okay.
and then
What weight classes were those?
so heavyweight and then super heavyweight.
Oh,
So it's like 201 under and then 201 plus.
okay.
So I won in both of them.
Yeah, that's nice.
I actually think I was maybe one of the smallest super heavyweights to ever compete in the National Golden Glove tournament. I mean,
Really?
these guys were 240 plus. I was
Wow.
like 203 pounds, you know what I mean? So I was giving up a lot of weight. And I thought I got robbed of a split decision in the finals. So I finished second in the country that year. But that gave me my traction, and that's how I landed a
Give you
deal
your
with.
boost too.
Exactly. That
Your drive, yeah.
yeah, right. I made a name for myself. That's essentially how I got signed, with Top Rank and ESPN, and to allow myself to be put in the position that I'm in. You know what I mean?
Dope. I want to ask you about you said you started boxing at 10.
10.
Was there like a figure that inspired you to do so? Like your mom or dad did anything like that?
Right. So actually, it's funny you asked that. Not really so much anyone who inspired me. I'm an only child, so like I didn't have that brother or like sister any to compete with or to maybe do before me. Like, oh, I want to do that. So it was kind of always within me myself. One day I actually came home from school and I told my mother, I said, Mom, I want to box.
Wow.
And she was like, you want to box? And I'm like, yeah. And she took me to a gym, 17th and Fitzwater, Marion Anderson Recreation Center. And it was history ever since. I was
Fell in love with it?
Yeah, fell in love with it. I was the only white kid in the gym. You know what I mean? So that was that made me. I feel like people like respected me a little more. I had to earn my respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Being the odd one out in that gym, you gotta show people that you belong here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, especially in the boxing game, it's a rough sport, man. You know what I mean? And it goes so fast. Like the career wise of it, like the window's so small, and just you got to really get in, and you want to make as much money and leave the best legacy you can leave. But of course, you want to leave with your brains intact. You know what I mean?
How was it like transitioning though from a sport like baseball, or you barely get any contact into a sport like what do you call it, boxing? Sorry, I don't know why.
Right. So that's a good question.
Yeah.
So actually, that's one of the main reasons why I probably quit baseball, and other than the back injury, but why I stopped playing baseball and pursued boxing, because you know if you're sitting in the outfield all game in baseball and you
Yeah.
only get one or two plays a game,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I figured if I wasn't batting or I wasn't pitching or catching, I wasn't in every single play. It's kind of boring to me. You know what I mean? So where boxing, it's all me. You know what I mean?
you.
Back to what I was
All eyes
saying.
on you. Yeah.
Exactly. So that kind of honestly, pushed me to even do boxing more, or love boxing more. Or, I just didn't love any other sport as much as I love boxing. I was always a physical kid growing up, whether it was, in a neighborhood fight or in a school fight, or I was just a rough, physical kid.
We have this segment they put in here, and it's called True or False, actually, right?
Okay.
And we went on the web and seen some stuff, and essentially what this is just we're gonna ask you it, and you tell if it's true or false. It never happened, right?
Okay.
And we have a question in there that says, "Is it true that you are a professional soccer player?"
That is totally false.
Right.
Okay, all right.
I mean, before this, you were talking about you were talking to me about how you have never felt like a thing for soccer. So I was like, oh man, this question.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know the rules to soccer.
Yeah.
I know maybe three players. I think Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar.
Yeah.
That's
Always the top three. Man.
Yeah, it's probably I can't tell you much about soccer.
Is it so is it true that you started boxing as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's obvious, yes.
Right. So actually, I didn't even tell you, but when I was actually 2 years old,
2 years old.
my father actually hung a heavy bag in the living room of my house, and I used to actually hit the heavy bag and
just throw
stuff
a
like that.
couple punches at it.
It wasn't not serious, but hey,
Full circle kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it true your nickname is the Bronco?
The Bronco, right?
Yeah.
That is
Where'd you get that
true.
from?
So how I got that was, have you ever seen the movie Rocky?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So basically, Rocky was the Italian stallion.
Wow.
Right.
You Italian?
Yeah, I'm Italian.
Yeah.
So actually, a lot of people don't know, with that movie, Rocky ran down 9th Street. Remember in the movie and stuff like that. So I actually live on 9th Street. I was born and raised
That's actually insane.
on 9th Street
Yeah.
in South Philadelphia, where the movie took place.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. I'm a heavyweight. So, people say, oh, you're the real life Rocky. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy.
That's
You
dope,
know
that's
what I
dope.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, the basically the Bronco is like, like the Italian stallion, but basically a playoff from Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, that type of thing. And the Bronco, because I punch like a Bronco's kick. You know what I mean? So the power. So yeah, it's just full circle type thing.
I feel that. I want to get deeper into the boxing, but there's this question right here that's actually kind of interesting. Is it true that you're secretly related to the actor / musician Jack Black?
That's false.
That's false. I was interested about that. I was like, wait, hold on, you related to Jack Black?
I'm like, nah.
It's crazy.
I can't be.
Nah, but you were born in Philly.
South Philadelphia.
Yeah, South Philadelphia. The boxing now, right? We had Eric Kelly second episode, and he was
That's
talking about getting knocked out. It's a weird feeling, but knocking people out, obviously that's also kind of
So
a
I'm going
weird
to
feeling.
cut you right there, knock on wood. I've never been knocked out. I've never been dropped in sparring. I've never been dropped at all, so knock on wood.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I was gonna ask you about knocking people out though,
So it's a great
because you have
feeling.
9 knockouts. A great feeling.
Yeah, I used to look for the knockout. Now it's kind of like, staying poised.
Play more tactical
and more relaxed and just kind of letting it come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not loading up on every shot, like throwing every shot as hard as I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just trying to, feel it more, place the punches more. Don't, because you load up on every shot,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of energy. You know,
Right.
you got a long fight ahead of you. So,
What
Yeah.
was like your first knockout though? Like, did it feel weird to you that you were like, oh damn, I just knocked this kid out? Is that-
so actually, my first knockout actually wasn't even in the professional ranks.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, it was actually in the amateurs with headgear on.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it was pretty nuts. Like when I
Yeah.
knocked the guy out, and it was like a big stage and
Mhm.
the National Golden Gloves, and he actually, thank God, he was all right. But he actually got taken out on a stretcher,
Oh,
and like it
wow.
was like a, it was actually pretty scary for my
Mhm.
being my first knockout.
Yeah.
But this is what we sign up for. You know what I mean? This is what people want to see.
Yeah, I feel like that leaves a mental thing on you. Like, what were you gonna say?
No, so to say was like it's like I know you do boxing, right? So like I want to say like, so I want to get into like UFC. It's very similar to boxing, but there's a little different rules to it.
Absolutely,
It's like I think
a
for
lot of
both-
different rules.
I mean for both a UFC fighter and a boxer, I think is like as their first knockout, it's probably the same. Right?
Yeah.
Or like similar experience to
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, any fighting in general. Yeah.
any fighter
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
think it. I mean, obviously with boxing we're only punching. I think it'd be pretty crazy to knock somebody out with like a kick or like a
Sure,
knee
yeah.
or like,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I think that'd be pretty wild. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything about it. I can't throw a kick or anything like that.
You be watching UFC though?
Absolutely. Some of my good friends are in the UFC.
Oh, that's dope.
Joe Pfeiffer, Andre Petrosky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're and shout out to them guys. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love all types of combat sports, whether it's UFC, I like wrestling.
WWE
you know what I mean?
and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, just not WWE. No,
You don't mess with that WWE?
That's
Like,
fake. That's
Fake news, man.
That's all fake.
Yeah,
That's all
no.
fake.
I mean,
I'm
here's
talking
what
like
they
actual wrestling. You guys have
Yeah.
wrestling here?
No.
wrestling.
No.
As a sport, Madison? No.
No, have it here. I thought they were gonna
wow.
add one here. With WWE though, right? I always thought about this. Script obviously fake. There's
Yeah.
no way these guys are actually being real,
Yeah,
right?
it's-
Listen, it's entertaining.
Slamming somebody on the floor, like 20 feet in the air.
Oh, listen, I'm
Is
not
that-
saying it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No, listen, some of the stuff definitely hurts.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Of course it hurts, yeah.
these guys are definitely sore the next day. You know what I mean? They're definitely hurting.
Yeah.
But it's not real.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
see, it's not real.
I believe that.
It's not
It's it's entertaining.
I mean, yeah,
you
it's
know,
entertaining, but it's not
I still
real
sometimes
'cause-
catch myself watching it. You know what I mean?
because
So
My
it's
grandpa
like-
does, and I
Yeah,
just be
it's
like, "Why
entertaining.
you watch it?" And I sit there and I catch myself watching it. I'm like,
yeah,
"Ah."
no, it's
Yeah.
entertaining. I mean, it really is. And
Yeah.
nobody really puts on a show like them. You know what I mean? They've been doing it forever,
Yep.
and they got it down.
When was your first boxing? What was it? Win? The first time you ever got your hand raised on a stage, if you remember
So it was. So actually, my first fight ever
that. Ever too.
was at 119 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, so how'd you
Yeah.
get from like?
So I was like 10, 11 years old, and like
Oh, okay.
119 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was my first fight ever. But
Mm-hmm.
I actually lost my first fight ever. But my first win had to be my next amateur fight. So I don't know how, it had to be 11, 12 years old.
Mm.
But that was my first one. I remember, my first win. I was super happy. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? I was like, I won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome. My first win was definitely something to remember, and it was a good feeling. I
Yeah.
was like, dang, like I just put in all this hard work, and this is the reward of it. You know what I mean? So it was pretty cool.
In the ring, do you usually get guys smaller than you? Cause you're 6'4", are you?
So actually, I'm actually a small heavyweight.
Really?
To believe it or not, yeah.
It's always like crazy to me when I think about boxing and when I meet a boxer too, and they're like a whole lot taller than I think when I see them on TV too. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
yo,
well, TV makes everyone look big, but yeah, I'm actually considered a small heavyweight. These boys are big, bro. Talking like 6'6", 260, 270.
Wow.
You know
That's
what I
huge.
mean?
Yeah.
It's big boys.
And do you ever obviously in the beginning of a professional, would you ever see the next guy you're going against and go, oh, like, I don't
So
know.
well, that's the thing. Like I said, they're all big, and within my division, especially the heavyweight division, they're all strong.
Yeah, yeah.
They could all punch hard. So I don't ever underestimate any man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Any man that gets in there and is game to fight. Anything could happen. It's a fight. You know what I mean? So I take every person that I'm fighting dead serious. Don't cut any corners and just train as hard as I possibly can for that one night, that one moment. And if the guy is known and he's really good and on that same level, yeah, of course. Whoever says they don't get butterflies or they're not scared before a fight, they're a
Not
liar.
true, yeah.
You know what I
Straight
mean?
up liar.
I still get nervous before fights. And even if it's someone I know that, there's no way this person's on my level, I'm still nervous.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. It's a
Anything
fight.
could happen.
You know
Yo,
what I mean?
that's the thing with boxing, man. Literally any punch that could hit you the
Literally.
wrong way.
And,
is like,
and it's the punch you don't see.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
She's punch you don't see, so
yeah,
So,
devastating.
for sure.
But the career is still going. You still
Yeah,
have
so I
fights
actually just fought last Friday night.
Oh wow, you
Yeah,
won that?
The 12th
Oh yeah,
one.
12th one. Yeah,
12th one.
undefeated.
Undefeated,
Yeah.
12-0, 9 KOs.
Wow.
We should be fighting again, I would say late February.
February. Oh,
Next year.
So
Okay.
probably be in Philly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to
Will,
it. I'm right
will
back
they
in
be
the gym.
on? Because I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to watch something.
Yeah, so it was actually streamed. This last fight was streamed. I'll send you the stream.
Okay.
I'll get your
yeah.
information and stuff, and I'll send you over the stream for
Yeah,
sure.
gotta watch one of that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And speaking of watching the fights, when I watch boxing, I do some boxing myself. Fun fact, right?
Really?
I don't do boxing actually, but fun fact, I have never put on a pair of boxing gloves, but I seem to think that I can actually, as soon as I put it on, I can do something with it. I've always
Well, listen,
shadow
I'll,
boxed.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Believing is half of it. So
That's what I think about it.
you
yeah.
gotta believe in yourself, no matter what
Yeah.
you do. You know what I mean?
I believe in it. I mean, I shadow box at home and stuff like that, and I've hit like, what do you call it, like
Pads
and all that.
bags,
So
right.
yeah, but it hasn't been with actual boxing gloves. It's just my friend had it, and I was like,
no,
let me hit that
listen.
real quick.
Yeah,
And I've done that.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, not like I've actually thought about doing boxing.
Oh, so
Maybe
you're
just as
actually
training.
enjoy it enough to like, maybe I should get a fight.
I don't know about professionally.
No,
but yeah, a fight.
no,
Yeah,
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
professionally.
Yeah, yeah.
But why not an amateur fight?
yeah. I'll
You
do
know
it.
what I mean?
You give-
headgear on.
Yeah,
You're not gonna get hurt.
Definitely.
No,
They
you're
got-
hurt.
you give me headgear, man, and you give me
14-ounce
what?
gloves. You know
Give me
what
a
I mean?
month of training right now. Get in that ring.
Bro,
Give
you
me
should
2
do
weeks
it.
of training.
No, not 2
weeks,
weeks.
not 2 weeks.
Easy
Too
there,
quick, too
easy
quick.
there. Let's go with 4 weeks. Let's
Let's
go with 4 weeks.
Yeah.
As for me, in middle school, I was an athlete.
Nice.
But I was an athlete. But then, like as soon as I got into I played a lot of sports. I played volleyball,
Nice.
soccer, football, basketball.
I was a
dodgeball,
beast at gym
all that.
volleyball.
All that. Yeah, I was too. Now, when it comes to
Good
high
days.
school, I don't really. When it comes to high school, I don't do sports. So all I do is work out and go to I go to the gym and I work out at home, and yeah, that's all I do.
Okay.
You do a bit of boxing too. You like to do that?
No,
Nah.
You don't like boxing?
no, I don't like
No,
boxing.
listen. Some people just don't like it. You know what I mean? It's
I watch
everyone's different. You know
I
what
like
mean?
it. I always dream about actually knocking somebody out in
You
boxing.
look like you could pass to be a boxer,
Hey
honestly.
man, I'm telling you, as soon as I get those gloves on,
and you
man,
got the confidence.
I
so-
do. I've gotten nervous before though. I've been like, hey, maybe I'm saying this, but then as soon as I step in there, I get knocked out in like 3 seconds. But nah, that's not me. I'm going to swing. I'm going to swing.
I can't see that.
And the thing is, I follow boxers too. Like, you know.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I like watching. I mean, you can go deep in there with me because you're gonna just drag me in that boxing stuff. But when you go do like Pacquiao, I like the way he fights.
Oh, absolutely.
You got Floyd, Mike. I can't go with Mike's style just because it's a little weird for me when I do it.
Tyson?
Yeah, Mike Tyson. But That's why I go with Pacquiao, because he was using he went southpaw, right?
Yeah, he switched. Yep.
So I watched him a lot, and I really like the way he
Are
boxes.
you southpaw?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
when I box, I tend to like always go southpaw. So
Okay.
and that's what I'm comfortable
Yeah, no,
in.
that's you know,
Yeah.
so it's just how you're comfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
there's you know, if you switch, it's better. You know, it's give different looks. It's not technically better, but yeah, you know, different looks.
I always
and,
thought about that. It's like, is it what you're comfortable with, or is it that one is better? It's like orthodox. Would it be better than southpaw? If
I
switched?
truthfully believe, you know, how you're comfortable. You know what I mean? Like for me, I was actually, a lot of people don't know, I was actually born left-handed, but my mother changed me to right-handed.
How so?
So she would just always hand everything to my right hand instead of my left. So this became my dominant hand.
Oh,
But I
wow.
punch in both hands. Like I'll knock you out with a left hook, or I'll knock you out with a right hand.
Wow.
And
That's tough.
I'll switch. I'll come out orthodox. I'll switch southpaw.
Confuse the opponent a bit.
I mean, you know, some guys don't get confused.
Yeah.
And some guys like fighting against a southpaw. Some guys, you know, might prefer that they fight against a southpaw rather than an orthodox.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the man only has two hands, so you know,
True that.
don't really matter orthodox, southpaw. A lot of people really get wrapped up in it. I don't think it's I think, you know, it's just extra. I mean,
Yeah. Well, speaking of people I've looked up to in the boxing side, who have you looked up to? Have you looked up to any boxer and you're like, ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I like their style, like the way they throw these punches?
I like a lot of guys, man. Just off top, I like James Toney. Roy Jones, I think, was one of the most naturally gifted fighters.
Yep.
You gotta like Tyson, right? Yeah, I like a lot of guys, man. Canelo, he's, you know.
Oh yeah, bro,
top guy
Canelo
right
is
now.
so tough, man.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, like when I be watching
Pretty
him,
much does it all.
dude, I watch him box. I'm just like, yo, how does he throw it so fast? His reflexes too.
Yeah, he
That
pretty
is
much does it all,
another
man.
level, yeah.
Yeah,
Triple
he's on
G.
that Triple G was had his run a couple
Yeah.
years back. He was the top dog. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I like a lot of guys, man. I pick off a lot of guys. I watch a lot of guys. I'll steal stuff from a lot of guys. I'm not the type where, you know, I don't watch these guys, or no, I try to steal and pick from, you know, a little bit of everybody. You know what I mean? To try to elevate my game.
We're gonna have to wrap it up, but I got one last thing about. What do you think about is Floyd having a 50-0 record, right? You think that's good of boxing?
Why not?
Why not?
What's your take against it? You don't seem to be sold on it.
If the guy is 50-0, then he's doing something that's crazy. That's right.
I think
he's good.
Floyd is, you know, TBE, definitely one of the best defensive fighters ever, right?
I mean that style. He got the
Yeah, man.
shoulder
Floyd,
roll.
Floyd's, you know, and he also changed the game as far as, you know, making money wise, you know.
Bank.
For sure.
Every time.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Of course,
I really
man.
appreciate it.
This has been the Madison Park Technical Vocational High School podcast. We thank you again for watching. This has been Sonny Conzo with us here too, professional boxer. His next fight is what, late February.
Late February.
So
Yep.
we could tag him in this too. Watch his next fights, and thank you again for coming.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.